Let's start. Okay. So my name is Tania Flores. I am Mexican American. I'm a Chicana. So the artifact that I chose was a tortilla, because every time I think of a tortilla, I think about like family, food, growing up. And that's really where my passion for food started. My aunts and mama, they make a little taquitos of papa, bean tacos, just like potato tacos and frijol tacos, bean. And, you know, those memories really stuck by me. And, we grew up low income. So, every like meal my mom would make us would make me feel like rich in life. Because it's like, the food would hit. Um, And I just remember growing up, my mom working the long hours, and then my aunts would take care of us, them making us food. And then this one time, my mom was like, you have to get in the kitchen so I can teach you how to cook. Because I'm not going to be here for the rest of your life. And like I was young, I didn't understand. Like, man, I guess, so I go in the kitchen and, she's showing me, la mija, put this, put that, cumino, you got the cumin, you got the salt, adobo, and then you got the beans, you got to make it. And, I was like mad, but, I still did it. And, like she worked as a hairdresser. So she spent all the long days at work, and then I get out of school. Either there'd be food or there would be, waiting for me. But if there wasn't, I'd be the one that go in the kitchen and, make us some food. So by the time she got home, she had a clean house, and then she got food on the stove waiting for her. Because, that's mine, she hold it down. That's the least I could do. So then after that, I got into like my 20s, and I'm like, damn, like, what do I want to do with life? It was like a reality check. I didn't want to be stuck working in the same job that I'm not feeling. I'm just doing it just to do it for the money, but it's not my passion. So then, I get to talking to one of my coworkers, and they're like, oh, I went to this school back in the 60s or 70s. Why don't you try it out since you like cooking? Because, this one time, like, I made like a soul food plate, right? And then they're like, damn, this is good. Like, you need to do something. So I'm like, okay, don't toot my horn a little bit. So I decided to go and try it out. And, you know, I sign up. I get into culinary. I take baking. I take what is it? Intros to foods, and slowly getting my feet wet and trying different recipes. And I'm like, oh, like I really like this. So then, it's like towards the end of the semester, and one of the chefs like, I got a surprise. And what are you talking about? Like, you got a surprise. So then, like, he's like, oh, go to my desk. So then I go to his desk, and then I see like the magazine cover, and I'm like, who's this? Like, okay, like, what's the surprise? And then they're like, that's you. And I look at him like, oh, damn. And it's me and another chef, on the cover. And, I was blown. I was like, damn, like, that's me. Like, I couldn't believe it. So, like, I thought they were lying. And then next thing you know, people asking me, is that you on the cover? And I'm like, what cover? So then I go, and then they show me. And then it's me, y'all. Like, wow, representing Trident. Okay, brown pride. Pero yeah, after that, I'm in baking class, and I'm really enjoying that. I love my teacher. I love her. And she taught me a lot. And then one of my classmates was like, I saw you on the billboard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you saw me on the billboard. So like, he shows me a video, and I'm like, oh damn, I'm on the billboard too. And come to find out it was two more. So that really hyped me up, just because like, that's my passion. And just they pick me out of anybody. But that's what I really want to do. I want to keep pushing, and hopefully one day get a franchise and retire me and my parents. And that's just the goal. But that's who I am.